A lot of people think that they need a better prompt, and sometimes they do, but a lot of times the real problem is that they are using the wrong approach for the task. Some people write one giant prompt for everything and hope that AI figures it out, while other people turn every little task into a full sequence when they don't need to. And both can be time wasters. So in this video, I want to make this very simple. When should you use a long prompt? And when should you use a prompt sequence? And why does this matter if you actually want AI to be useful instead of frustrating? Well, here's the big idea. A long prompt is not bad. A prompt sequence is not automatically better, right? The mistake is trying to use one method for every kind of task. If the task is clear, simple, mostly one shot, a long prompt usually works fine. But if the task is more complex, it's layered, or needs better thinking, better judgment, or refinement, a sequence is going to usually work better. So let's start with the long prompt. The long prompt is best when you already know what it is that you want. If the task is straightforward, the outcome's clear, and you want the AI to execute, this is where people often overcomplicate things. If you want AI to summarize something, rewrite something, clean up an email, turn notes into a paragraph, or give you a quick batch of title ideas, one solid prompt is enough. Why? Because you're asking AI to do one defined job. You're giving it the context, the tone, the format, and the goal, and then letting it run. That's where long prompts really shine. But it starts to break down when you ask AI to do too many thinking jobs at one time, and this is where people run into trouble. They want AI to brainstorm and then organize and critique and refine and write the final version all in one shot, and sometimes it works okay. A lot of times the results feel generic, messy, or really shallow, and I've talked about that in many other videos. That's where a prompt sequence is going to make more sense. A sequence is better when the task has stages, when the first answer probably will not be strong enough. It's when quality is going to matter more than speed, or when you want the AI to think through something instead of just giving you a fast draft. And this is especially true for content ideas, strategy, scripting, problem solving, or really anything that benefits from planning and refinement. For example, if you want video ideas, one prompt might give you 10 decent ideas. But if they feel obvious or they feel weak, that usually means the task needs more than one step. Maybe first you clarify the audience, then generate ideas, then ask AI which ones are too broad or maybe too boring, then expand the best one, right? That's a very different process and usually a much, much better result. And it's the same thing with writing. If you want a quick paragraph, one prompt is probably enough. If you want something stronger, more natural, and more thoughtful, a sequence will be a lot more beneficial. You can ask it to draft first, then critique it, then improve the weak points, then refine the tone. Now the AI is not just writing, it's working through stages, and that's the real difference. And this matters a lot because a lot of people are frustrated with AI for the wrong reason. It is not always that the AI is bad. A lot of times the people are using the wrong method for the job. They're using giant prompts for tasks that need a process, or they're building a process for something that could have been done in just one shot. So here's the simplest rule. Use a long prompt for fast execution. Use a sequence for better thinking. If the task is clear and contained, use one prompt. If the task is messy, strategic, creative, or needs refinement, use a sequence. That's the shift. Not every task requires a giant prompt, and not every task needs a 5-step process. The goal is not to obsess over prompting. The goal is to make AI actually useful. And once you understand when to use each approach, well, then AI starts making a whole lot more sense. So anyway, I hope that helps. This is Craig, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.